Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back in with another stock market video. Today I'm going to be doing an analysis, price prediction, and review of Riot blockchain stock. And this is a company that I actually found a while back, actually when it was at some pretty big lows, right? Right around $1.50, maybe $2 is when I found this stock. Unfortunately, I did not buy any shares back then. And as you can see, it's gotten a pretty significant run up since that point. But I do think that this is a company that can continue to do very well. As you can see, year to date, it's up 330%. If we look at, from the very lows back during March, this is a stock that's up, over 650%. So very big increase, but I do think that this is actually a company that can return back to its all-time highs, which were around $45. And that's going to take some time, right? But I think this is a company that's really going to move up, as there's not that many blockchain stocks out there, and this is actually a company that focuses on mining Bitcoin amongst a couple other things, but that's its main focus. So this can be seen very similar to a gold mining stock, for example, right? And that is very, very interesting to me, and that's something that I really like. Because of the fact that there aren't too many of these out there, so any type of funds or bigger institutional firms that want some stock market exposure to crypto or Bitcoin related involvements, this is one of those main companies, and there aren't many out there, right? So there's not that much choice. This is one of the better ones. It isn't perfect. Just a few months back, this was considered kind of a risky penny stock. Now it started to show some pretty significant results, right? Financial results, which we're going to cover and analyze in just a second here. We're going to talk about their revenue and their drastic increase as far as their cash on hand, but they're having some really positive things coming through, right? And of course, that is being followed with a pretty drastic price increase. So I'll talk a little bit more about the price predictions later in this video as we cover the actual chart later. But in a more detailed technical analysis, I think though that this is a stock that is going to reach $10 pretty soon and then climb its way to $15, $20, etc. So that is something to look towards. And now let's talk a little bit about some financial results. Also going to talk about a couple new bits of news. Riot blockchain mined 222 bitcoins in Q3. So the third quarter of 2020, it mined 222 bitcoins. As you can see, right, it's had pretty steady amount of bitcoins mined per quarter. And even though there's been a slight decrease, right, compared to 2018, for example, you have to keep in mind that the difficulty to mine bitcoins has increased. So considering the increase in difficulty, right, and the halving, it's actually still doing very well with the amount of bitcoins it's mining, and it's continuously buying new miners to actually mine as much Bitcoin as possible, right? That's how they make the revenue, or at least most of it. And they do tend to mine a couple other cryptos like Ethereum, Litecoin, but really their main focus is Bitcoin. Now, with the cash that they get, their cash flow, I think they can do some really interesting things besides just their mining, but that is obviously what they're going to focus on and expand on. Mostly very similar to a gold mining stock. And of course, right, it's no surprise how much Bitcoin has been increasing, right? 13% in the past 7 days alone. It's now at almost $18,000. Recently, basically put in a new high for the year, and it's moving back towards all-time highs at a very fast pace. I have no doubt that we're going to see Bitcoin around $30,000 in the next year or so. And I think that that's going to be reflected on Riot blockchain stock as well. So it's a good way to get some different type of exposure into the cryptocurrency space. And you have to keep in mind, right, that Riot blockchain, of course, it's great when Bitcoin increases in price, but even regardless of that, as long as the Bitcoin network is still alive and it's mining, they're going to be making money. So there's some really interesting opportunities. If this stock really is able to pan out in the next 5-10 years, this could even become a dividend paying stock. Maybe not a huge dividend, but very similar to some of the gold mining companies out there. So that is also a possibility. And that is just one of the many things that I like about this stock, right? So let's take a look at the website real quick, supporting the Bitcoin opportunity. Riot blockchain focuses on Bitcoin mining, supporting the Bitcoin blockchain by participating in Bitcoin's consensus system through proof of work mining, right? That is how they make their money. Racing to find the next block and building upon the chain. We aim to be one of the largest and lowest cost producers of Bitcoin in North America. And if my calculations are correct, I believe they already have around 1% of the mining market share, which is pretty impressive, right? You can see more about their mining statistics here. The fact that, they're based out of Colorado, they use Bitmain Antminers, and you can see the amount of capacity that they're using and outputting, right, in terms of energy. The amount of miners that they have. In most recent news here, you can see that the newly announced order of 8,000 S19 Pro miners are expected to be received and deployed during the first 4 months of 2021 and are expected to raise Riot's total operation hash rate to 1.45 EH. Riot expects to then have a fully deployed fleet totaling approximately 15,000 miners. So this is some big stuff, really, really increasing their mining capacity here. And you can see some pictures of their mining plant. So basically, what I wanted to mention about this, I want to see as much transparency, as much pictures, videos, and everything about Riot Blockchain as possible, because since it's still a smaller company, it actually only has 6 employees, they want to move away from, their past more penny stock branding, so to say, and really move into a more trusted, leading Bitcoin mining company. And I believe it's really on its way there, but we want to see as much transparency as possible, as much clarity as possible. So here you can also see some pretty interesting bits of information, right? Reporting over 2.4 million in mining revenue. So that's a 42% increase over the same period last year. And we can also see that they had a 450% increase in their hash power. So like I said, they're really, really kicking up everything drastically. You can also see that their cash reserves ballooned from 9.1 million to 30.1 million over the same period. This is some big stuff, right? They are actually somewhat moving towards profitability here, and I believe that's something that we could see in the next 1 to 3 years. So very interesting stuff going on. Despite their expansion, they are moving towards making more and more money, better margins, and really ultimately potentially reaching profitability, which would be absolutely huge for what's still a very small company. You have to keep in mind that a lot of big institutional firms don't invest in these riskier stocks, but that can allow you to get in at these very cheap prices when the other firms have a legal obligation to get in at much higher prices due to them not being able to take on the risk of smaller companies, right? This is actually something that can allow you to get in while bigger firms have to wait for more clarity before they can put their clients' money to work on stocks like this. So let's take a look at the actual chart here. This is the Bitcoin chart. You can see the drastic increase in recent times, kicking back towards the all-time highs here. And you can see this is a cup and handle formation. Like I said, no doubt that we're going to hit $20,000 and really skyrocket from there in the next year. I want you to remember this pattern here, because as we move over to the Riot blockchain stock chart, you're going to see that it's a pretty similar pattern. Although it really had a rough time and was very stable, not really doing much, we're finally starting to see kick back up into gear. I'll go ahead and draw out that uptrend line right here. And one of the most important things to keep in mind with this is the fact that its all-time high is all the way up here at $45, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mark that as well. Now, we will obviously have a lot of resistance around the $25 area and even the $30 area, but, it's only a couple resistance level at the end of the day, right? So even if it is some big resistance and we pull back from there, this is still really ground level stuff that you're getting in. Anything less than $6.50, this is not even really the breakout yet, as you can see, right, compared to the past. And yes, we might pull back a little bit from here and go up and down, but really, right, I think we have every opportunity to break out above this recent high that we put in and start moving on towards $10 plus. And after that, right, there's not that much resistance. Once again, right, we have got a little bit of resistance around $10, $11, and then probably $15. After $20, only really 3 resistance levels after we're back to all-time highs. So things could move very quickly, especially if we see a drastic Bitcoin price increase. Very similar to how gold works. When gold mining stocks increase. When Bitcoin increases, stocks like Riot Blockchains increase, and there's not that many stocks like Riot Blockchain around. So once again, that's something that I wanted to mention and be specific about, because it's something that a lot of people may be overlooking. So once again, this is a stock that you could potentially be getting in at the ground floor level, still at some very good prices. If you missed out the cheaper prices that were here a couple months back, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything less than $3 at the very most if we were to see a big pullback. So anything below that, I think, is prices that you'll never see again on this stock, to be honest. And I still feel like $5 is a very good price point. Anywhere between $5 and $10, extremely good price point, even $15. So this is why I am buying, and I've already bought some right around the $5.40 mark. So if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Stay safe. Have a nice day, everyone. Thanks for watching.